In 360 BC, the Greek philosopher Plato recorded one of the strangest tales in his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. The story, in brief, is about a Greek ancestor named Solon, who spoke of his visit to Egypt in 600 BC. During his visit, Solon met with the priests of the pharaohs, who told him about the city of Atlantis, which existed 11,000 years ago. According to Plato's account, it was the greatest and largest city of the ancient world, covering an area of about 2.5 million square kilometers. Its distinguishing feature was a series of rings or circles surrounding the city center. The city was inhabited by many people who had advanced in science and technology far beyond anyone else. They were skilled and advanced in all fields, and this was evident in the city's grand palaces, temples, and other magnificent structures. The people of Atlantis were also characterized by strength, wisdom, and nobility, alongside vast wealth from natural resources and precious metals. Most importantly, they possessed a formidable military power. However, over time, pride took over its rulers and people, and they contemplated conquering the entire world. Atlantis transformed from a symbol of advanced civilization into a symbol of tyranny and greed, becoming an empire rich in progress but morally bankrupt. Atlantis managed to conquer many regions across different continents, imposing its control over vast areas of Africa and Europe. They conquered any country within hours. During this period, the people of Athens, whom Plato described as having noble ethics, united and resisted Atlantis's oppression, forcing its forces to retreat. Due to the bravery of the Athenians and the greed that overwhelmed the people of Atlantis, the gods became angry with the Atlanteans, especially Poseidon, the god of the sea, who drowned the city of Atlantis completely in a single night. This story has since sparked debate among researchers and historians. Some argue that Atlantis is nothing more than a fictional myth, while others believe in the city's existence, even if the tale is mythical. This belief is fueled by the fact that many cities started as mythical stories, such as the city of Troy, which was eventually discovered in Turkey. Consequently, numerous projects have been funded to search for the lost city of Atlantis. So, where could it be, and what is its connection to ancient Egyptian civilization? Most importantly, does the Sphinx hide an unknown secret about the lost island of Atlantis? This is what we will explore in today's file. But before delving into the details, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would be very happy if you honored us with your subscription. More importantly, activate the bell to receive notifications of our files as soon as they are released. According to Plato's account, Atlantis sank behind the Pillars of Hercules, now known as the Strait of Gibraltar, which separates the Mediterranean Sea from the ocean that completely engulfed Atlantis, the Atlantic Ocean. This was the first clue for those interested in searching for the lost city of Atlantis. From here, several possibilities and theories about the existence of Atlantis emerged, the most important of which are as follows. The first possibility is that the Strait of Gibraltar is the true gateway to Atlantis, and that the Azores and Canary Islands beyond the strait are remnants of the lost city. The second possibility is that Atlantis is submerged in the Bermuda Triangle, supported by claims from two scientists who said they discovered something very strange in the depths of the Atlantic Ocean using sonar mapping. This discovery is of sunken terrains resembling pyramids, which they believe are remnants of the lost Atlantis. The third possibility arose after discovering a great wall in the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, about 120 kilometers long. Researchers started to think it might be the remains of the Atlantean civilization. However, many opinions later debunked this possibility as the discovery turned out to be natural formations. These were the main attempts to locate the lost city in the Atlantic Ocean, specifically in the place mentioned by Plato. However, some believe these pieces of evidence are insufficient, leading to other theories about the disappearance of Atlantis. The first theory is that Atlantis is the icy continent of Antarctica. This theory was first promoted by Charles Hapgood in 1958, based on the following evidence. About 12,000 years ago, a significant shift occurred in the Earth's crust, causing the icy continent of Antarctica to move from its distant location to its current position. This current position was supposedly the original home of the Atlanteans. After the Earth's crust shifted, Atlantis began to sink under the ice. The second theory suggests that the Minoan civilization is the true civilization of Atlantis. For those unfamiliar, the Minoan civilization is considered the first civilization in Greece and Europe in general, which emerged in 2600 BC. Due to the discovered roads and luxurious palaces of the Minoan civilization, some began to link it to the lost civilization of Atlantis. Additionally, other theories suggest that the people of Ard are the true people of Atlantis. Almost every year, claims arise about discovering the island of Atlantis, whether in Cuba, America, or various other countries worldwide. From here, completely different views emerged from the previous ones. While previous opinions claimed the discovery of Atlantis in certain areas, this time, some believe that documents explaining everything about Atlantis, including their sciences, secrets, and even the map indicating their location, are present in ancient Egyptian civilization. According to their account, after Atlantis sank into the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, some Atlanteans survived the drowning and began to spread across the world, transferring their knowledge and technologies. One of the most important areas they visited was ancient Egyptian civilization. During their presence in Egypt, they started building the pyramids, the Sphinx, and the massive structures that still exist today. The evidence for this, from their point of view, is that if the Egyptians were the ones who built the pyramids or the Sphinx, where are the inscriptions they placed on them? And what is the secret of the strange inscriptions shaped like submarines and airplanes in the Temple of Abydos? These inscriptions suggest that they were made by an advanced civilization or people. This view began to be adopted by various groups, particularly the American group led by Edgar Cayce. I want you to pay close attention because what follows is more serious than you might imagine. But first, we need to know who Edgar Cayce, the founder of this group, was. Cayce was an American psychic, regarded as a prophet or messenger by his followers because he predicted strange events before they occurred, which happened. One of his most famous predictions was the outbreak of World War II, which indeed occurred. Even after the war started, he predicted America's involvement and Germany's eventual defeat, despite widespread expectations at the time that Germany would conquer all of Europe. However, his most famous prediction was the discovery of a secret chamber under the Sphinx. According to his prophecies, this was supposed to happen in 1998, but it did not. So, what was supposed to be in the secret chamber under the Sphinx? In the 1930s, Edgar Cayce detailed the subject, saying that the sons of Noah who survived the flood were originally from the sunken continent of Atlantis. After surviving the flood, they reached Egypt with a large chest containing all the sciences, technologies, and secrets of the lost civilization of Atlantis. Using their advanced knowledge, they began building the pyramids and carving the statue of the Sphinx. Moreover, Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, claimed he had lived in ancient times as one of the scientists who survived the sinking of Atlantis. His name at that time was Ra-Ta, and he took the chest containing all the knowledge of Atlantis and hid it in the secret chamber, placing it under the right paw of the Sphinx. As mentioned, he predicted that this chamber would be discovered in 1998. Before he died in 1945, Casey founded his research organization to propagate his ideas. This organization began making periodic trips to Egypt, searching for the secret chamber. They also sought permits to excavate beneath the Sphinx. But did they find anything? No, of course not. They also excavated under the pyramids, hoping to find something, but they found neither secret rooms nor a chest of records. Therefore, in 2014, after attempting for the 5th time to obtain a permit to dig beneath the Sphinx, the Popular Front for the Defense of Antiquities filed a serious complaint against Edgar Cayce's organization. The complaint argued that the holes made by the organization in the Sphinx and their excavations were threatening to destroy the statue. This is something all Egyptians and the entire world reject, as the Sphinx is a symbol of Egyptian antiquities that has stood for thousands of years. But the problem is not just with Edgar Cayce's organization, it is also with those who initially granted them the permits to excavate, including, unfortunately, Dr. Zahi Hawass himself. Finally, from our discussion of Atlantis and Edgar Cayce's organization, we can deduce the following. First and foremost, many in the West, particularly Afrocentrics, aim to prove that the Egyptians were not the ones who built the pyramids. At times, they claim the Jews built them, other times they say it was extraterrestrials, and sometimes they assert it was the inhabitants of Atlantis. The important thing is that the ancient Egyptians are left with zero credit. Secondly, Edgar Cayce, who was turned into a prophet because his predictions often came true, also made many predictions that did not come true. For example, he predicted that China would become a predominantly Christian nation by 1968, which has not happened, as Christians remain a minority, comprising less than 5% of the Chinese population. He also predicted that the 44th American president would be the last, whereas Barack Obama was the 44th president and was succeeded by Donald Trump and currently Joe Biden. Moreover, his prediction about the secret chamber under the Sphinx was debunked with sonar and scanning devices showing that what lies beneath the Sphinx is merely groundwater. This confirms the falsehood of his organization. Thirdly, there is still no evidence of Atlantis' existence. If we closely examine Plato's story, we'll find that he mentioned Atlantis to glorify the Athenians, of whom he was a member, highlighting how they were able to defeat the greatest power of the time and withstand their brutality and oppression, even though Greece at that time, according to Plato's account, was merely a collection of simple settlements. Finally, I want to hear your opinion. Do you believe Atlantis is real, or is it just a mythical legend? Please write your opinion in the comments. And with that, we conclude our file for today. Please let us know what other topics you would like us to cover in future episodes. See you next time. Peace be upon you.